Alright, hello everyone, how are you guys all doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And today we're here with another video. So today's video will be capitalizing on the recent Zulrah nerf. If you guys want to see more videos like this of things that may have changed and may be more profitable than they usually have been, go ahead and tell me about that down below. Make sure to hit that like button. But what we have for you today is a method of getting sharks that will allow you to profit for one. If you're a normal regular player of the game, 7 to 800k an hour depending on when you're playing, and on top of that, if you're an Iron Man, this is going to be by far and away the best way for you to go ahead and get sharks. So with that said, obviously there are some requirements. While this is a low-level money-making guide, it does require a little bit of cash. If you're going to want to go ahead and do this method for an hour's time, you will need 420k cash. Lit. And on top of that, you're going to need 100% piscarilius favor. So if you guys do not know what that is, that pretty much is one of the Kourend houses. So what you have to do is go ahead and get 100 in piscarilius. That's the only one I have any favor in. It's relatively simple. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I did real quick. So, alright, so for those of you that already have 100% piscarilius favor and don't need to look at the steps to get it, go ahead and skip on to 442 in this video. One thing that you can do, you can go ahead and complete the Client of Kourend quest. If you haven't done this, I'd recommend you do it, as it is a 10-minute long quest. It gives you 20% favor in one house. Obviously, I chose piscarilius, and you get double favor for all the houses. So it's really helpful, and that's how you end up saving yourself a ton of time with this, as it will take another hour or two if you don't do the quest. So if you've already done the quest and you can't put your 20% onto piscarilius, basically what you're going to want to do is come on over to this shop. Now if you don't know where piscarilius is, it is over here. You can voyage here from Port Sarim and end up down here, or I personally use house tabs and then run all this way, which now I'm realizing probably isn't all that efficient. But what you're going to want to do, make your way on over to the general store. You're going to need nails, a hammer, and planks. More planks than I have here. I'm just using these as an example. Probably bring about 500 planks and 1,000 nails or so, and you should be good. Whatever you have left, obviously, just sell on. But what you can do, and this is a little helpful hint for you guys, so you guys don't have to keep running to the bank and back, go ahead and note your planks. You'll sell them for pretty much nothing, as you guys can see here. They will buy literally for nothing. But you can buy them back for 1 coin, so 28 coins to save yourself running all this way sounds pretty decent to me. And all you're going to need to do is go on over here and repair the fishing crane. Now you will fail and it will take a ton of nails, so that's why you obviously have that many nails. But this is how you get your favor up from 1 to 15. Now we will move on to the next part, which is taking all of this fish and throwing it in kind of like a cooler, I guess. So what you're going to need to do is come on over here to these 3 barrels of fish just right south of where you were before. Go ahead and pick them up, and they'll pretty much just spawn, as you can see right here, and you just have to keep on going down until you have a full inventory. Now when you have a full inventory, you're going to have to run east into this little house, where you'll kind of need to know this house for later, but just deposit it in the cooling chest. Pretty easy stuff. You get a little bit of fishing XP. You'll get some slow favor, but it's the best you can do at that level of favor, so go ahead and do that. And then yeah, once you reach 30, go ahead and follow me and run north. So once you go ahead and run north, basically when you have 30% piscarilius favor, you'll need to go ahead and go to the bank, take out a spade along with some coins, and run to the east. Now you can bring a full inventory of buckets if you have them available in your bank. If you do not though, however, it is not a big deal. Go ahead and train this Tynan guy, and he will have buckets for you. So what you're going to want to go ahead and do is just buy a full inventory of buckets. Obviously you'll have a full inventory and not what I have here, and go to the north and dig up these sandworm castings. So as you guys can see, there are times where you will get 10 hunter XP. This does require 15 hunter, and you will get buckets of sandworms. Basically you'll go ahead and turn these into the guy south. As you saw right there, there are times where you will fail and you will not get any sandworms, as you guys can see. So what you'll have to do is just, while you're digging another one, go ahead and empty out one of your buckets of sand, and over time, as you guys can see, you will fill up your inventory. Now this is extremely quick compared to the other two, and all you have to do is go south, and once you go down to Tynan again, all you'll have to do is just talk to him. He'll take the buckets off your hands, but as you guys can see, you'll have no buckets. You trade him again, fill back up with buckets, and you should be good to go. Now this only takes like 7 or 8 trips. It's pretty quick, and once that's all done, you'll have 100% piscarilius favor, and I'll go ahead and show you what I was doing to get sharks. So all that you'll need, as I said earlier, some coins. Stamina potions are recommended as you will be running a decent amount, so what you're going to want to go ahead and do is drink up on 1 stamina dose and turn that into the bank. Then as soon as you can, just start running south. Now I'll kind of show you guys the way that I go about getting there. This method's really nice for Ironmen. I mean, there's no better way to get food, I would imagine, on an Ironman, especially after this Zulrah nerf. Zulrah is a really, like, passive way to go ahead and get sharks. It's really helpful. This is kind of more intensive, but it definitely is worth it if you're looking for some decent food for whatever bosses you may be going after. And for the average player, 700k or so an hour when you are a low level, like, there's barely any requirements. It's a really good method. So what you're going to want to do, go ahead and go on into this house with this purple sign, trade Frankie, and as you guys can see, he will have some sharks for you. Now, this is open to everyone, so some worlds may not have, you know, the maxed out amount of sharks and may just have 1 instead. It really depends on what time of the day you're coming here. Just a little bit ago, whenever I tested my hours worth, I was actually getting pretty much open worlds everywhere, but as you guys can see, we only have 1 down here. So what I recommend you guys do is just hop to different segments of worlds and kind of just have a relative idea to where you are on the overall world. So as you guys can see, I know I didn't show it there, but raw sharks are insanely cheap from the shop, so all you're going to want to do is go ahead and buy your 25, hop to another world, buy the rest of your inventory, and then you kind of know, like, as well, once hopping to this world, if you'll be able to stay in this world for your next trip. So as you guys can see, with 24 in stock, they're only 300 coins. They do go up to, I believe, 500 to 600 coins. You're still making money even if you're a regular player, and as an Ironman, obviously, that is worth it for you. So what you're going to want to do, just go back and you will be at the bank. I'll go ahead and show you what an average ship looks like as far as time and GP goes here in a second. Alright, so for an example, I started this trip with 100k and no raw sharks. And no raw sharks in my inventory. So as you guys can see, it cost me pretty much 9k for this entire inventory, and when I go ahead and price check these, it says 25k. They're actually a little higher, as sharks are currently buying for 980. So there's obviously a decent margin here, and as a Ironman, I would imagine this is something that you would like to do. So overall, whenever I was doing this method, I was able to get 1245 sharks per hour. Now that doesn't necessarily show here, however, that's about 1.2 mil. That's about 1.2 mil per hour in sharks, so that will be your overall profit. However, the items that you're going to have to put into this will be stamina potions, probably about 8, as they last for 2 minutes each, well, each dose. And then on top of that, 420k coins is what you're going to have to put in. So go ahead and take into account about a 460 to 470k loss. Now, there will be times where you will have to stock up on energy, and I'd recommend doing that using regular energy potions, and you can just drink them on your way to the shop. It's a relatively low cost, and it definitely helps out with the overall speed of this, as you will be losing run energy. So if we go ahead and revisit, as you guys saw, you will end up spending around 400 and let's say 80,000 per hour. However, adding on the 1.2 mil that you will end up making, I got around 720k GP per hour. So it's relatively good for low levels, I would say. I mean, 720k and the only thing that you need is just a little bit of cash is absolutely insane. So it's definitely good for low levels. Ironmen definitely will be using this method, I would imagine, for sharks now, since fishing them is just not, there's just no way. But that is it for me today, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything you guys want to go ahead and tell me, any video suggestions or anything you guys have, go ahead and leave those down in the comments below. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.